What's up guys, it is StarFlorge here and the Rift Mage build is here. Now, unlike most of my builds, obviously this is only a level 15 mage, so I couldn't do everything I wanted to, but what I have done so far is got these few spells where I've gone into Rift Mage, mainly Inferno and a bit in Winter, well one in Winter, and the reason I've done this is because the Rift Mage and Inferno were really nice because it means the burning duration lasts longer and you get more damage out of the really high damage tree of Inferno. Now let's start on the Rift Mage build. I haven't taken Pull of the Abyss because it doesn't do it doesn't bring as much as my other spells brought that I could take, and it also is basically just an upgraded version of Veil Strike but with a much bigger mana cost and lasts longer. That's what it does, and really Veil Strike has a much lower mana cost, which I need because my other spells are spells that I want to be getting off rather than wasting pretty much all my mana on Pull of the Abyss. I probably would take it at a higher level, but not for now. And Stonefist, obviously the impact detonator, that is why I've taken Winter's Grasp for the shatter, and if I was a higher level I would have taken Lightning Bolt for the paralyze, for the discharge detonator, but you should probably try and get that on a different mage. Now let's actually get into it finally. Now Stonefist, what it does is it summons a big boulder from the Fade and smash into your target, sending them flying, so it will also give them a knockback as well as the impact detonator it is. It has a 500% weapon damage, short cooldown time of 8 seconds, and a mana cost of, I believe, what was 50. I do actually have a staff that reduces mana cost of everything. And then you take the upgrade because what it does is within 4 meters of the enemy it will reduce, it will weaken the enemies for 10 seconds in that area, which is really nice, especially if you're a Rift Mage, because of Encircling Veil and Twisting Veil. Now what these do, now Encircling Veil has given a lot of people some confusion around really what it does. So what it does, you could say, it says duration bonus versus weakened increased by 25%. Now what this is, say you have a duration of 10 seconds on your burning, it will then increase that burning of 10 seconds by 25%, so the burning lasts longer. That's what that does. It's pretty simple and works extremely well with burning because obviously you get more damage because there is more burning. Now Twisting Veil, you get 15% bonus damage versus weakened as well, and these two stack up on each other, which is really nice. Now we're going to the left, which is Veil Strike, which is also a great spell for Rift Mages, where what you do is you recreate your own fist from the essence of the Fade and smash nearby foes to the ground. And this is an area of effect of 5 meters, cooldown time of 24 seconds, and quite a low mana cost. When you get the upgrade, the cost is reduced by 50 mana, which is so nice, and has a weakened duration of 10 seconds. So with these two together, in a 4 and 5 meter radius, you could possibly get the 25% bonus duration and 15% bonus damage for 20 seconds, and then obviously put them back on because the cooldowns will be gone. Now you want to take the Restorative Veil, which means you get 10% better mana recovery. What you do is you pull stray magic around from weakened enemies to regain mana based on the damage you do to them. So what this is you have to have the enemy weakened, and then you get 10% of the damage done to them back as mana, if that makes sense. And then you get Smothering Veil, which has weakened enemies have their damage they inflict reduced even further. Now the damage reduction normally of weakened enemies is 15, and this takes it up to a nice 30%, so they will all be doing a lot less damage. These 4 passives all work on weakened enemies, which is really nice and makes the weakened effect just very worth it. I've gone through why Winter's Grasp is a good spell to take, because obviously you get the shatter combo. So let's go into the Inferno. We take Immolate at first because it is so much better than Flashfire, because what it does, it has a better impact damage and has a burning and also costs a lot less mana. The only difference is that flash fire will fear the enemy, but we don't need that. So immolate, 400% weapon damage, 150% weapon damage per second for 8 seconds, obviously increased by another 25% of that 8 seconds. Small area effect of 3 meters, cooldown time of 16 and a very low mana cost, and it also is a Eldritch detonator. So not only do you have the impact, but you have the Eldritch for when an enemy is asleep or stunned to be able to get those combos, and obviously take the upgrade because you get a bonus 100% weapon damage, so that's 500, and then an extra 75% weapon damage per second on top of the 150, and the cooldown goes to a 12 second. Nice 12 seconds, really nice. Now we're going down to a flashpoint, which is after you land a crit, your next spell cast doesn't trigger a cooldown period. This is a very, very, very key element to pretty much all mage builds, because it means you can get some spells 2 in a row, and it unlocks a lot of potential with the mage. And obviously with the new ring I had a video for, it means the second we hit out of combat we will get a crit, and I'll show you that in a bit. Now we go down to Pyromancy to be able to get the burning duration for an extra 25% and fear duration for 25%, and obviously with the weaken it will also add another 25%, so everything will be increased by 25% and another 25%. I'm not sure if this game calculates it, whether it adds it so you get a 50% or whether you get 25% and then another 25% on whatever that 25% increase was. Then we go down to clean burn, where your spells burn away ambient magic that would otherwise slow down your casting. So every spell you cast shortens your active cooldown times by 1 second. Now the reason I took this is because Stone Fist is something you will probably want to be casting with Winter's Grasp as much as possible, and with clean burn it means once you've got this combo off you can use your other spells to then be able to reduce the cooldown of them to then be able to get that combo out again as soon as possible. Now we're going down into Wall of Fire, which I think is such a great spell. It has a size of 6 meters, which you get the upgrade for to get it to 9 meters. It has a duration of 20 seconds, which is also increased by 4 seconds, so it's for 24 seconds. You get a 200% weapon damage per second over that 24 seconds, which is incredible. And the burning duration is 12 seconds, so when they walk in they will get that 200% for 12 seconds, and I believe it can actually reapply to an enemy if once it's stopped burning and if it decides to walk through the Wall of Fire again. And you also get a fear duration of 6 seconds, a big cooldown time of 32 seconds, and a low mana cost. This is probably one of the spells you want to use flash fire for, flashpoint, sorry, to be able to have it up again. Although after the duration of it, once it's run out, odds are you will be able to get it again, but it is always quite nice to be able to get 2 Wall of Fires out at once. And obviously this burn duration and fear duration is all buffed by the Rift Mage Encircling Veil and Twisting Veil bonusing the damage. So I will be doing other variations of this Rift Mage build, maybe not just this Rift Mage, just a Rift Mage in general. So obviously Rift Mage is the thing that goes around it, and then I'll probably give a whole Winter Tree, Spirit Tree and Storm Tree, so everyone can see the different variations rather than be like, why didn't you take some of the Storm Tree? Because it's better, because this is just one build out of many that you can do. And this is just one that I found really fun with the Rift Mage, being able to abuse the duration bonus and the damage bonus on fire spells. So I'm really sorry to say that I can't actually get out some combat footage because my game seems to be playing up a bit, but I hope this build has given you enough content to kind of realize what you need to do in this build to be able to fight enemies and utilize the build itself by weakening enemies to be able to get better duration on burning and better fire duration, and also get that shatter combination. That's what this build is about. Hope you guys like it. Leave a like, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and I'll see you next time.